Majo John Madden. Why do I keep starting videos under the bridge, under the autopista? This is like the third video I've started down here. One day I sang, one day a couple of cars almost hit us. I don't know what the deal is here. Here comes the guy who delivers milk in a refrigerated thing. You see him every day. See him every day. Usually both ways. So I was going to do a video about my relationship with Don Miguel, the grandfather at the O'Reilly restaurant and Diamante Hotel, where we've been for over 2 months. And we are at a critical point with each other. But what's forming, what most needs to get said, is the whole business of talking about what's real, talking about difficult subjects, talking about interpersonal conflicts, talking about your deeper feelings. And I'm realizing that my whole perception of the Mexican culture is being slanted by the fact that I'm staying with really peasants. I mean, they're smart and intelligent and funny and wonderful people, but they've not traveled. They mostly are El Diamante people or Vega. I don't think any of them's been to college, as far as I can tell. They're really cool people, and I make the mistake of assuming that they reflect the developmental level or the way of doing relationships that's Mexican. And I think it may reflect rural, uneducated ways of relating, which, in America, there's a huge difference. The elites, for all our problems, for all our middle-class hang-ups, for all the ways I've learned to balance that by going to Appalachia, have learned from Freud, have learned from psychotherapy, have developed a capacity to talk about relationships in a more sophisticated way. My son hasn't. No, he hasn't. He did go to college. He did take psychology courses, but the ability to really talk about what's real, he doesn't do it. No, he's a great husband and father, but I bet he's not supporting his kids' ability to talk about thorny subjects. No, because he can't do it. Won't do it. Comfort zone. He wants comfort zone. And so part of what's making it hard to process the conflict I'm locked in with Don Miguel about his absolutely mean treatment of the dogs, and my wish to say to him, you've got everybody conned into thinking you're a nice guy. Apparently he doesn't, because Elia said to me, he's actually quite a difficult man. But it took a crisis for her to acknowledge that to me. I had already once said to her that I was having trouble with him, I'm pretty sure, and needed me to say, Elia, help, I'm at a crisis point with that guy. Then she was willing to say stuff, because it's some of it you don't know how to process. Some of it's a Mexican avoidance of talking about others. They just don't want to gossip, and that's a wonderful quality. It's a wonderful quality. Yeah. So that's part of why I'm going stir crazy here, because not only does everybody speak Spanish, but even if we go through the Google Translator app, they're not going to talk about stuff that I need to talk about. Yeah. So I do need to get out of here and see more of Mexico and realize that, once I get to Jalapa, bigger city, more education, possibly develop friendships with two cousins. I think they're both cousins, a guy and a woman who are in Jalapa. If I could develop friendships with them, they're both Spanish speakers, So there's still gonna be that. But I don't know, I'm needing, because processing things, telling the truth. I came through the human potential movement. I was talking to him about that the other day. Oh, I proposed to Maritza, the server here, that we actually get to know each other, which we don't yet. We've had all this flirtation and stuff, but we don't actually know each other. And I said in a text message, WhatsApp, you know, there's a game we used to play in the human potential movement. What I want you to know about me. Something I want you to know about me is, and then you share something as light as it needs to be, but it would tend usually to grow and grow as you build trust. And that was at the end of the 50s. That was in the 60s. It was the human potential movement saying we could actually talk to each other about who we are and progressively build courage, back and forth, build courage to name important things, to say really important things that we haven't said to anybody. And that was a countercultural movement in the US back then. So let's do that. And that's still alive in certain circles. It's been made fun of as the belly button gazing and just all about me. But it was necessary focusing on, well, what's true for me, individuating myself. I see it this way. I want to hear how you see it. And the clock is trying to be rolled back by right-wingers who are trying to get us not to be able to say, don't say gay, don't say race, don't say racism because somebody might feel uncomfortable. you know, as if we should build all our politics about keeping everybody comfortable. But I have a son who's built his life around it. Keep everybody comfortable. I said to him in a message that I feared his gravestone would read, he managed to get through his life without pissing anybody off. Yeah. That's not me, is it? No, that's not me. I will name the fucking elephant in the room. I will slice it and dice it and serve it for lunch. Hey, here's the elephant in the room. Eat it. Or I'll punch your fucking lights out. Well, I have gotten more direct. And I have gotten aggressive in certain areas. I've sent an email to my stepbrother today and said, it's not like me to avoid a fight, because I don't avoid a fight. But I'm avoiding this one with Don Miguel because I'm living in his backyard. I'm relying on their good graces for a few more days. But I do have a mantra, which Ailey has heard me say a couple times, don't tell me what to do. That is a mantra of mine. And I said to Dennis this morning, another one which goes, nobody pushes me around, and nobody pushes me around. You do not. I pity the fool who tries to push me around. But what happens, we've had a face-off. We were staring at each other when he discovered the remains of me feeding the dogs right outside of the restaurant. And he stared at me, and I stared back. It was like at 30 yards. But what's going to happen if that happens at nose to nose? Not good, because I'm not good at backing down. No, I'm not. It's something I used to be good at, but I really don't do it. And sometimes you need to, because that day I said, we're getting out of here. Let's go to Vega. This is too hot. I can't afford to have a showdown with him just yet. Maybe. He's such a haunted, in many ways, broken man. I don't want to hurt him. But I will not take shit from him. No, I absolutely will not. And let the devil take the hindmost. But He will not push me around. Okay.